still to be decided here on the men's side. You know, we talked about how tight the women's competition was, but as you get into the men's field, Vellner leads by 4 over Jeff Adler. We showed you that, along with Adrian Conway, Mike Arsenault on the floor. My name is Joel Godet. Between 5th and 8th place are 21 points. A lot to be had with this event, brought to us by O2.
Yeah, and it's a nasty chipper. You know Pat Vellner likes a chipper or two. 25 calories on the Echo Bike, 200 double unders, 100-foot handstand walk, 100 wall ball shots, 100 GHD sit-ups, 100-foot handstand walk, 200 double unders, 25 calories on the Echo Bike. And that's with a 22-minute time cap. We've watched it get a few other athletes, and now we talk about the recipes to success, which are brought to you by Trifecta Reserve and Conserve. Pace this workout early, get your spot, and hold on to it until the latter half and toe the line on the handstand walks. You're going to spend time there, and you can't lose time there. Oh, and by the way, you get 40% off your first order by using code CrossFit.
You said 30%?
40, brother. 40%.
Adjust the seat on that bike. It's going to be different for every athlete.
Yep. They want to optimize that, both the GHD setup and that bike. You got to run out there, get yourself situated. You don't want to have to do that in the middle of the workout. And it matters. When they get on the bike, even this initial bike, you want to watch for where their hips are. They want to be at the top end range so that leg gets straight at the top, almost completely locked out, but not quite. And they don't have to shift from side to side on their hips.
Here is Austin Spencer right now in 5th place overall, looking for a bid to the CrossFit Games. He has a 3-point lead on Nicholas Joyel.
And he's repping America as he pops that top.
3 points. It's the difference between 2 spots at the top of the leaderboard.
Settle in. Breathe. Be smooth here. You're not winning this event by being the first off the bike. Now, what we've seen, and I've talked to vets about this, athletes like Pat Vellner, athletes like Jeff Adler, with the experience they've got, they'll try to lull you out and pull you out of your game plan by going just a little fast on that bike, too, because they know that if you go too fast too early, you pay the price. That's a part of being a veteran. You get to look at the other eyes of the competitors and say, oh, that guy might be a little bit nervous or a little bit worried. And there's conversations had in the back. Hey, how fast are you going to go on this bike? Hey, how big are you going to go on those wall balls? And you tell them. Might not be the real game plan, but you're having these conversations.
Some judges putting hands in the air, counting the final 5 calories. That is the case for Jeff Adler there. 1 calorie left for Jeremy Vigneault. The other Vigneault brother is brother Alex, 4-time CrossFit Games athlete. Jeremy trying to make his debut. He is 31 points out of qualifying. He is 10 points out of the Last Chance Online qualifier. That's how tight this race is. 31 points out of 5th, 10 points out of 8th. He's currently in 10th.
And that's why you buy your tickets. You come sit down, get it in live action, or you tune in and join it here. I'm going to argue viewers got the best seat in the house. They get to hang out with us. Look at the speed of the double unders here. It's going to look different on the back half, right? People are jumping so slightly, trying to keep the revolutions as fast as they can. Elbows in tight towards the body. Spin fast through your hands. Use your wrists, not your shoulders. Note what you're seeing here. Look at Adler. Look at Vellner. Vigneault makes easy work of the first 100. He is smooth. All these gentlemen, fast ropes.
Vellner advances to the second 100 of the double unders. And here's Alexander Caron in the red shirt who steps forward. Such a steady week. 7th place in event 1, then a 2nd, a 7th, and an 8th. He's just kind of hung around. Alexander Caron is in 3rd overall. Games athlete last year at his best placing of his career, 24th. And he qualified out of the Last Chance Online qualifier. It looks like he may avoid that fate this year and earn one of his 5 3-point lead on Joyel. Cedric Lapointe took that 24th place finish in event 1 and has climbed his way all the way back up. And then Jack Farlow, he also dug himself a hole with a bottom 3rd finish on day 1. But he won the barbell complex yesterday, and Farlow's right back in the mix.
Yeah, he is. You put yourself in striking distance, and that's all you can really ask. and now you have an opportunity. Now, what can you do with that opportunity? That'll be told today. A lot we're going to learn right here from this first workout today for these men.
Jeff Adler also incredibly consistent.
There he is. That's the beauty about this sport. Look at those finishes. We haven't talked about them a ton. Of course, we were going to talk about them last night on the complex, but it's just handle your business. Be well-rounded. It matters what is at the top of this leaderboard after 6 events, not 3, not 4, and not even 5.
We saw those top 5 finishes for Jeff Adler. That puts him just 1 place behind Pat Vellner, just 4 points different between first and second on the leaderboard. After day 1, Nicholas Joyal was your leader. He had 2 event wins, but then a 24th and a 14th. Now here's the hitch. He kind of knew those were coming.
He did.
So he controlled the damage enough to be 3 points out. He likes chippers. He's got to have a good start to his day 3.
He does, and hopefully these movements are in his wheelhouse as well. As we found out, those workouts on day 1 couldn't have been written better for an athlete like Joyal. So he knew he had to seize the moment, which he did, but now what can he do on day 3 to recoup from yesterday, which seemed to be damage control?
It's an athlete that has spent some time at CompTrain down at CFNE back before the pandemic, training with Katrin David's daughter back in the day.
We just watched him receive 2 no reps, not because his ball wasn't high enough to the target, but because he actually didn't hit the target. It went straight up and came straight back down. And now, when you get no reps, your judge is watching you like a hawk.
There's Jack Farlow. And again, we talked about him having to dig out of a hole, but a 4th and a win will do that for you. And he has the Brent Fikowski professor's arm swing on these wall balls.
He does. And again, a lot of athletes see that and know about that technique by now, but it doesn't work for all of them. Some don't like it. They don't like the rhythm. They feel like it actually makes their arms more tired. But naturally, the logic makes complete sense. You've got to at least try it because you're getting your arms out of the air and under you. Pump some blood through those limbs.
Jeff Adler is kind of like halfway committed to it. He's got the swing above the shoulder.
Pat's all in with the helicopter method there, and you can tell both of these men are, I believe, what seems to be towards the latter part of this wall ball set here.
100 wall balls and then another 100-foot handstand walk to follow before these athletes hit the GHD. $20-pound wall ball to a 10-foot target. Farlow lets it drop to take a break. One of the benchmark workouts in CrossFit is Karen. 150 wall balls for time. We're doing 2/3 of that here. Vellner finishing his 100.
So here we go. As Vellner finishes, this is one of the most important transitions of the workout.
And
what are you going to do here?
On the way to the handstand walk.
How long are you going to wait? And neither of them do. Let's go. Put on the show. And they're in it. And then Karan is right there on their heels in a fine position to make a move if he needs to or if he feels like he can. What I love is that these guys are out to win this event.
Vellner and Adler went 1-2 yesterday in event number 3. There's a race to the finish between the two of them.
And Vellner takes one deep breath and is right back on his hands. It's amazing. We take so much of the skill set and capacity that's on exhibition here for granted because they make it look so easy. Folks, it's not. You see Adler kick down. Vellner gets to pull away another length here. Karan stays unbroken as well. Oh, yeah.
And here comes Alexander Karan. All these athletes now move to the GHD, and Vellner is already going to town here.
And this is where you know it's going to be uncomfortable, yet you can continue to move. You try to recover your breath here, slow your heart rate down. You're not going anywhere for quite a while. Use your quads to accelerate your torso up.
Let's go down to Mike Arsenault with more on Jeff Adler here.
Well, according to Jeff Adler, this event will be won or lost on the GHD sit-ups. He expects to break multiple times throughout the 100 reps. I asked him how he was feeling. He said his hips and quads are a little bit sore. Of course, they're utilized quite a bit in the GHD sit-ups. We'll keep an eye on if he can stay with Pat Vellner and the other athletes currently on the GHD, as he thinks this will be the separator in event number 5.
Mike Arsenault, one more question for you here. Did Jeff Adler get to utilize the jacuzzi last night for recovery?
I did ask him about his hot tub. He was in it last night. He said the jacuzzi, as he called it, was excellent. So we'll see if that is the special factor that leads to a potential win here in event number 5.
Jeff Adler is competing at home, just 15 minutes away from his living space. And that's a nice little bonus to having a semifinal in your hometown. So Adler takes a break, and he just popped the top in the middle of the GHDs.
Too long of a rest there. Because Vellner ain't slowing.
We are
Or
right.
he's not stopping, that's what I should say.
We are right in the middle of this work. 100 GHDs, followed by another handstand walk, and 200 dubs, and 25 more cows on the bike.
This is nasty. It's a nasty combo. Carone working strong through those GHDs. We know he does a lot of these in his training. Strong midline there on that one as well.
Now, you said
Wait a second.
Wait
a
exactly.
second.
You said Adler took too much of a break.
They are counting wrong. That's no way that's correct.
I was about to say.
Yeah, it wasn't even close.
Vellner got there first.
I don't know
Adler
what
took a
his
big
judge was
break.
thinking. Now, Adler still is cycling a little faster than Pat at a hair. Pat just hasn't really stopped yet, so I'd imagine he's still slightly. But what we're not showing much is Carone over there, and he hasn't really slowed down or taken a break either. He is right there rep for rep with these guys. And this is where, again, you've got to be willing to kind of shut off your brain, because constantly you're like, maybe I should take a break. Maybe I should slow down. Maybe I need a second. If you take a second, it might be 1 second too long, and you get behind someone who's just as fit as you and now already has a slight lead. Grind through this with mental fortitude, and it's going to create an opportunity for you on the back half of this workout.
Vellner continues to work through the GHDs. Alexander Carone just left. Vellner now on the right. Pat trying to pick up his first ever win at the CrossFit Games this season, fighting a little bit of father time. 31 years of age. He is one of 7 individuals with 4 podiums to have never won. And it's one of those things, we talked to Brent Fikowski about this last week. You never want to be the best person in your sport to have never won, but you also find the satisfaction in the other things in terms of what is success. You know, just because I didn't win at the end didn't necessarily mean the season was a failure, but certainly Pat Vellner is in this to win. The oldest person to ever win the CrossFit Games on the men's side was 32. It was James Fitzgerald, all the way back at the beginning of this sport. So Vellner is fighting the clock a little bit, but I tell you what, he almost had Justin Medeiros a year ago, and this may be the year if Pat Vellner can put pedal to the metal.
Yeah, I agree, and a lot of it has to do with, as we see Carone be the first one off the GHD, I agree that Pat can put it all together, even with him openly admitting, hey, it's not about me winning this particular event. I'm not here to make a statement or prove anything to you guys here at the Atlas Games. I want to do that at the CrossFit Games. Tells me that even his training will reflect that. And hopefully we get to see even a more peaked Pat Vellner in Madison, as Adler and Vellner still get off at the same time, even with those rests.
This is incredible. They are step for step on the handstand walks. Talked about the jacuzzi with Adler. That's the thing that Pat Vellner told us too. Hey, as you get older, recovery is a bigger thing. He's paying a lot more attention to his body.
Yep.
And this season, more than any other, Vellner says I've been healthy. And I haven't had a month break or a 2-week break where I've had to do less to nurse an injury. We'll see how that healthy consistency plays into his season going to Madison.
Right. And I think it will. It always contributes. This is a game of recovery. It's an endurance sport. We don't go much longer than 25 to 40 minutes in a particular workout, even on the long side. But when you do it 6 times in 3 days, or at the CrossFit Games, 12 to 15 times in 3 to 4 days, boy, it's an endurance sport at its highest level.
Back to the double unders. 2 sets of 100 here.
All right, and this is it. This is a race about double unders, if you ask me. I mean, at this point, Carone gets there early, but how often is he going to break, and will he have to? And it's the same for the other 2. Neither of the 3 have a particular cycle rate that's extremely faster than the other. Rhythm. Create a rhythm. Breathe when you can. We've got a breaking from Vellner, elbows on the knees. That could cost him some time if Carone can keep this up.
Adler on the right, Vellner on the left. We saw in the GHDs the counting discrepancy, and it looked like Adler was done way earlier than he should have been. Adrian, what happens in that instance? If you're off, how do you get back on an actual right count?
Oh yeah, I mean that's all the judge, right? That's definitely up to the judge, and I think maybe he just put his hand up significantly too early, like approaching 50, his hand was up, and then kind of got it back down and got focused again. But as an athlete perspective, that's why it's important to count your own reps, because you got to have whoa, judge, that's not correct. I'm not getting my hopes up for no reason here.
Or in Vellner's case, looking to your left and go, wait, he's not ahead of me.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's hard. That's hard too, because that happens in the heat of competition. You know your competitors might get a couple calls that you know they shouldn't have gotten. You can't argue. There's no time for that. You got to move on and make haste and try to solidify your position. Now we see Pat break again here.
Showed you the race for 1 and 2. This is the other race in this event. Austin Spencer leads by 3 points over Nicolas Joyel right there. Both men trying to make their CrossFit Games debut.
All right, so, look at the race on the bike here. Adler's hammering it. His cycle rate is faster than Carone's, and he got on just a fraction of a second after him. But look at his arms. Notice how he's cycling and turning over the repetitions faster and faster. He's got to continue to build speed because that's what Carone's doing. Pat's going to lean in and see if he can close the gap on both these guys.
Adler
I don't think you can catch Adler at this point for Pat.
Adler in the overall leaderboard trails by 4. That's the difference between first and second or second and third. And the hand is in the air. Listen to the crowd for the hometown man.
There it is. Way to finish, Jeff. You gotta love it.
Adler to the finish in Montreal. Carone comes in second. That is enough. Jeff Adler will be your overall leader heading into event 6, the finale. And Vellner, looking left and right, knows he doesn't have to race to get to the finish line.
Oh, man. Pat, just not caring. Hey, cool. Thanks for the third. Great job, guys. That was impressive. That's what he's saying. Well done. And there's something to be noted there about Adler's performance. You talk to him, hey, I came into the sport strong. I had that as a natural advantage. What have I been working on, though? This new shiny engine in the form of my aerobic capacity. We talked about that when the weekend kicked off, and this is a long event, an opportunity for him to make that flex, and he did it today. That's good. That's a good sign for him in the season to come, that new engine.
Adler is with Mike, and so too is Joyel.
Jeff, we're going to call that performance the power of the jacuzzi.
Yeah.
You called it. You had the jacuzzi last night, got the body ready to go. You said that was going to be win or loss in the GHD sit-ups. Was it, and why?
No, I think I actually won on the 200 dubs and the bike, the ending bike. I was just hanging on the GHDs, did what I wanted. So 2 stops, feet off, just to take like a true break, and then kept going. I tried to match my pace with Vellner. We were right beside, so that was easy to pace.